When you turn your attention inward and embrace silence, you shift your focus away from seeking external approval and start to cultivate genuine power. In this stillness, your mind becomes sharper, allowing you to gain clarity about your direction and purpose. While others expend their energy reacting to the chaos around them, you elevate yourself quietly, growing stronger, more transparent, and ultimately more formidable. It is in silence that you flourish and achieve victories. The most significant triumphs often emerge from the most tranquil spaces. In just a moment, I will share strategies with you on how to concentrate on yourself and embrace silence to foster strength, clarity, and a sense of control. Working in silence commands respect without the need for validation. You may have noticed that the most vocal person in the room is rarely the one who commands trust. Those who boast about their ambitions often accomplish very little, while the quiet individual who diligently works behind the scenes becomes the one that captures attention, not for their words, but for their actions and achievements. Silence is your strength for a reason. Not because words are inherently weak, but because tangible results speak volumes. By withholding details about your progress, you eliminate the invitation for doubt, hesitation, and distractions from others. This newfound focus allows you to take full control of your energy and purpose. Why is silence paramount? Because in the quiet, your ideas take root. Without the incessant noise, you can hear your own intuition clearly. You shield your aspirations from premature judgment, even from your inner doubts. When a goal is shared too early, it can be sabotaged by those who fail to see your vision. So, how do you initiate this journey? Start by keeping your progress private. Rise early without announcing it. Stay late without expecting accolades. Hone your mind like a finely tuned instrument, not to showcase your prowess, but to be prepared for what lies ahead. Shift your focus from seeking validation to striving for self-improvement. Imagine two workers in a field. One boasts about the seeds he intends to plant, while the other quietly toils, planting in silence. Months later, whose crops do you notice? The noisy one, or the one who diligently made strides in their work? Are you cultivating in silence, or are you broadcasting your efforts to the world without substance? Respect is not an entitlement. It's something you attract through your actions. When you work diligently and effectively behind closed doors, your eventual accomplishments will resonate far more profoundly than any words could convey. Your power magnifies the moment you cease to justify your ambitions. You do not owe anyone an explanation for your determination. There is no need to rationalize why you push yourself harder, set your sights higher, or refuse to settle for mediocrity. The more you explain yourself, the more you dilute your own strength. Those who misunderstand your journey are not deserving of your energy. They are merely evidence of your ascent. The reality is that over-explaining can weaken your intentions. Every time you fragment your journey to accommodate someone who cannot see your vision, you rob yourself of the mental clarity required to complete your mission. People often misunderstand you not because you are in the wrong, but because they prefer comfort to growth. Do not follow this path. Why is embracing silence more advantageous? It distinctly delineates your confidence. I know what I'm doing, and I don't require your approval to pursue it. This inner clarity has the power to shake the world without uttering a single word. Instead of providing explanations, focus on execution. Rise and act decisively. Disengage from conversations that do not serve your purpose. Rather than defending your path, walk it with conviction. Let your actions, not your words, make your case. Visualize a young apprentice in a blacksmith's shop. One apprentice talks incessantly about becoming a master, while the other listens, learns, and hammers metal quietly. When the time comes to forge a sword, who do you trust more? Are you still attempting to convince others of your seriousness? Or are you allowing your actions to speak for themselves? You are not here to gain approval from everyone. Your purpose is to develop such an understanding of yourself that external judgments cannot shake your resolve. That's when your true power emerges, when you move from explaining your ambitions to simply embodying them. Growth takes place the moment you withdraw from the noise surrounding you. There exists a toxic kind of noise that stifles dreams, gossip, jealousy, and idle chatter from those who offer nothing of value but have an opinion on everything. If you're not vigilant, this noise can become your environment, shaping your mindset and ultimately your life. Silence should not be seen as an escape. It represents elevation. Stepping back from external noise does not diminish your sociability, but enhances your sovereignty. You begin to think more clearly and make deliberate choices about what deserves your attention. Why is this withdrawal so important? Because the world provides rewards for clarity, and clarity is born in silence. Most people can't hear themselves think because they're too busy absorbing the fears and doubts of others. If you absorb their fear, you will also act from a place of fear. However, by protecting your silence, you cultivate a boldness that pairs with clarity. To withdraw means to guard your time as if it were a precious commodity. Avoid environments that mock ambition. Dedicate your evenings to reflection rather than reaction. Study and improve in private, and sharpen your discipline in the absence of applause. Imagine a scenario where two warriors are preparing for battle. One engages with the crowd, shouting, drinking, and laughing, while the other practices alone in a cave, focused and quiet. When the battle commences, which warrior would you trust to prevail? Are you residing in the security of your cave, or are you lingering in the distractions of the crowd? Do you seek silence for personal growth, or do you confuse it with the need to be seen? The silence you maintain today will eventually speak volumes on your behalf. By retreating from the noise, you will find your true signal. Move away from the crowd, and you will uncover your purpose. You don't need anyone's permission to rise. All you need is unwavering conviction. No one else will crown you or dictate your worth. That is a responsibility that rests on your shoulders. And when you start to elevate yourself, a remarkable shift occurs. The individuals who doubted you will fall quiet, while those who genuinely believed in you will already be beside you, moving forward together. Yet, many individuals hesitate, waiting for applause or approval, searching for a moment when everything feels just right. They seek validation in the guise of readiness, but readiness is not bestowed. It is chosen. What's behind this hesitation? Often, it's the fear of judgment, the trepidation of taking a step forward without a group cheering for them. However, true winners move ahead regardless of fear, propelled by a conviction stronger than their doubts. You initiate your journey without the need for approval by defining your worth in solitude. Set high standards for yourself and adhere to them, regardless of whether anyone is watching. Take small steps with unwavering certainty. And each time you act despite fear, you bolster your inner authority. Picture a sculptor who chisels away at a block of stone, laboring alone. No one initially believes it will become anything, but the sculptor envisions its potential. He doesn't justify his actions to anyone. He simply chisels, and eventually, the onlookers gather around, not out of skepticism, but to admire the transformative work that has taken shape. Are you still waiting for the crowd to validate your efforts? Or are you building in solitude? Do you act as if you're already worthy? Or do you shrink in the absence of recognition? Stop waiting. You don't require a spotlight to make your mark. You require resolve. When your commitment to your goals surpasses your need for permission or validation, nothing can prevent your ascent. The less you speak, the more you can hear. The most meaningful insights often arise from silence. Many people fear it. They rush to fill it with words, disorganized thoughts, casual gossip, or discussions of dreams that have yet to be realized. They fail to recognize that each unnecessary word they utter drains their presence of power. As for you, you must embrace the opposite approach. By speaking less, you accumulate strength. You gain knowledge, observe nuances, and prepare yourself for what is to come. In moments of silence, deeper wisdom can flourish. The individual who listens surpasses the one who does not. They perceive details that escape the attention of others. The changes in tone, the hesitations, the tensions hidden behind smiles. They discern intent, giving them a distinct advantage. For the world is not governed by the loud, but by the aware. Many assert their opinions to escape discomfort. The weight of silence often feels heavy, so they start performing. But true power knows how to wait. It watches, and only when the moment requires does it step forward and speak. Why does silence wield more influence than noise? Because it creates space. Space for observation, clarity, and refined decision-making. In a world obsessed with speed and volume, silence serves as both an act of rebellion and a mark of mastery. Consider great generals, wise elders, and skilled negotiators. They do not chatter incessantly. They observe first, listen actively, and speak later. When they do speak, their words command attention. This is not about being passive. It's about choosing the right moment. It's about training yourself to endure discomfort without needing to fill a conversation with unwarranted words. You learn to navigate ambiguity and pause before reacting, honing your ability to understand rather than assume. Now, envision two individuals entering a boardroom. One commandeers the space with incessant chatter. The other listens quietly, analyzing the dynamics of the conversation. When the noise fades and the quiet individual finally shares their thoughts, everyone pays attention, not due to the volume of their voice, but because of the value of their insights. Which one are you becoming? When you speak, do your words have the power to shift perspectives, or do they simply serve to fill silence? Are you offering valuable insights or merely combating the discomfort that silence brings? Your goal should not be mere silence, but measured communication that carries meaning. Once people recognize that what you say matters, they will listen even before you begin to speak. In every conversation, practice resisting the desire to rush in. Instead, retreat into observation. Permit others to reveal their thoughts while you remain silent. Use silence as both a weapon and a tool. When it's time for you to speak, let your words resonate with purpose and impact. In the silent moments between your utterances lies your authentic power. You are meant to be subtly formidable. There exists a form of strength that doesn't require validation or applause. It doesn't seek the spotlight. It is committed to winning. This strength quietly persists, avoiding unnecessary self-promotion, remaining unnoticed while the world is distracted by external noise. And when the moment arrives for decisive action, it does so with clarity and precision that nothing can obstruct. This is the person you must become. In a world that confuses volume with value, you operate in depth. Certainty is forged in solitude, during early mornings and late nights, those pivotal moments when no one is watching and each decision you make is for your future self, not for public validation. Your confidence grows not from the loudness of your actions, but from the depth of your understanding. It dwells not in being observed, but in your knowledge of who you are. You cultivate a quietly formidable presence by doing what others fear. You eschew distractions, slicing away shallow conversations. You show up for your routines as if they are sacred. You master the essential, unglamorous fundamentals while others chase fleeting trends, moving deliberately towards your goals. Every action you take is intentional, and even your stillness carries purpose. Consider the tiger in the jungle. It doesn't chase after noise seeking recognition. Instead, it crouches in silence, blending seamlessly into its environment, observing intently. When it does make its move, the other creatures sense it, but cannot see it coming. This is not a performance. It is an embodiment of presence. You must strive for that kind of impactful presence. Are you filling your days with busy work that lacks direction? Or are you sharpening your skills in ways that remain unseen? Are your actions rooted in purpose? Or are they merely performances to seek validation? Real power does not stem from volume. It is derived from discipline, precision, patience, and a quiet commitment to growth, both when the claps are absent and when the audience observes passively. That is where your strength is cultivated. That is where your authority emerges. When you arrive with mastery instead of noise, people take notice. Rooms change, and eyes turn to you. Not because you demand attention, but because your silence conveys more meaning than their speeches ever could. Become a force of nature that others never saw coming. The one who doesn't shout, but strikes precisely. The one who remains unnoticed but arrives with a presence that shifts the atmosphere. Fulfill your potential quietly. Maintain your focus, and awaken the force that resides within you. You create multiplied progress when you cease to compete with others and start to create for yourself. Most people engage in a race they never signed up for, running without a clear understanding of why. They look to their left and right, comparing their pace with strangers. They match their tempo to that of others, apprehensive about falling behind. But behind what, exactly? This cycle is a trap. The competition was never your race. The objective was never to outrun others, but to construct something uniquely yours, a vision that resides within you, untainted by the shadows of others. The moment you recognize this truth, everything alters. Your silence becomes sacred. You abandon the race and the pursuit of external validation to find your own rhythm, your unique tempo, and your mission. You stop attempting to triumph in an arena governed by others and begin to design your own path. This transformation is both mental and spiritual. Comparison is noise, constant, ceaseless, and draining. It drowns out your voice and sows seeds of doubt regarding your pace, progress, and purpose. Comparison invites the notion that you are lagging, while creation reassures you that you are evolving. And becoming takes both time and presence. It demands faith in something deeper, something more profound than mere performance or validation. Creation finds its roots in stillness, not in applause or in endless scrolling through distractions. But when you step back from the race, divert your eyes from others' achievements, and return to your own hands, your own ideas, and your own raw materials. You cultivate, shape, and express yourself without haste. That's where greatness resides, not in speed, but in depth. An inventor labors alone in a dimly lit workshop while the world races past. He remains undistracted. He meticulously adjusts each gear, draws plans, and perseveres through trials. He doesn't check on how far everyone else has progressed. Instead, he creates. When he finally emerges, he reveals something original that bears his unique mark. This is what your life should emulate. Are you still entangled in a race that belongs to someone else? Are you haunted by the pace set by others who don't share your path? Or have you made the choice to slow down, turn inward, and begin building your life on your terms? This world does not require another imitation. It longs for your authentic self, quietly, powerfully, and intentionally engaged in creation. Withdraw from the crowd, silence the distractions, and dedicate your time and energy to pursuits that resonate with your true calling. Invest your efforts into what fulfills you, and what can only be birthed through your unique perspective. Subscribe to our channel and press the bell icon to stay updated with more motivational content. Like, share, and comment to support our work and spread the message.